Movie fans, MCU and DCEU fans, welcome back to another segment to This Week in News here at Murphy's Multiverse. And man, oh man, are you in for it this week. The Disney Plus news cycle has just been non-stop, along with Marvel Studios having its highs and lows itself, and a bunch of new projects are coming, along with massive changes to some existing ones. Now, I'm your host, Tyler Moulton, and before we get started, make sure to smash that like, subscribe, and notification bell so you never miss a beat. Now, real quick, folks, if you didn't get a chance to see all the Secret Invasion set photos that are dropping like mad, don't worry. As you can see, we've got them up here on the screen for you. And also check out the video of Emilia Clarke looking real sus during a shooting of this scene here.
And there's Emilia Clarke. There she is. Daenerys Targaryen right there.
Look at her, she looks like she's trying to spy on someone, and then Maria Hill comes out and hugs her at the end. So we don't really know too much about Clarke's character at the moment, but there could be some sort of history between these two characters that we'll learn in the future. We definitely got tons of first looks coming out of Marvel Studios, similar to these banners for MOM, and even a full look at Gargantos as well. We also got a huge reveal for the upcoming Blade project that involves one Eternals character. That's right, Eternals VFX supervisor Stefan Soretti sat down with Comic Book this week and told them that the Ebony Blade will most likely show up in the Project Blade. He stated, "The funny thing is my second on the show, which is Martin Lawson, my additional supervisor, is actually going to be supervising Blade very soon. So I told him, I said, I'm giving that to you as a gift. Use it wisely and make good out of it. But I'm sure it's going to do actually even better." So there you have it. He's obviously talking about the Ebony Blade in that quote, and he doesn't say anything about Kit Harington's Black Knight and if he will specifically show up in Blade. But after that Eternals post-credit scene that we all saw, and the fact that Soretti is bringing up the Ebony Blade being in this project, I would bet my money that Kit Harington does show up. And after hearing this, it's got me really excited, but that Blade project is just so far away. So let's talk about a project that's not so far away. How about that Moon Knight flick everyone's talking about? I mean, this hype is starting to feel like when we were all eagerly waiting for WandaVision's release. Did you see the trailer on YouTube? 26 million views, which isn't really that surprising for a Marvel Studios trailer, but those likes, 1 million likes. And in fact, this is the most liked Disney Plus series on YouTube. And when the trailer premiered originally during that NFL wildcard game, 75 million people stuck around during the commercial break to watch. So the hype is obviously very real. And even a quote that just recently came out from Ethan Hawke himself about his character and him being a villain in this project will get you even more excited. He says, "The uber-rich villain mastermind isn't really interesting to me. I love the ones who believe that they're a good person and that's why they have to kill you. That I find really terrifying." So I love this approach to a villain for Ethan Hawke. It's basically staying away from some of those typical villain cliches. Taking a look at the DCEU news, Matt Reeves' The Batman film looks to be eyeing a solid 3-hour runtime according to a Chechen film distribution website. That's pretty nuts. This would make it one of the longest solo Batman films ever made. And apparently it's going to be 3 hours of horror, literally. Listen to Matt Reeves for yourself. He says, "This idea of a place that is corrupt and you try to swim against the tide in order to fight against it and make a difference is quintessential Batman. And at the center of those noir stories is almost always the detective, right? And that's why he is the world's greatest detective." So this story is, in addition to being almost a horror movie and a thriller and an action movie, and at its core, it's also very much a detective story. It's very narrative. And I'm sure you probably already knew this somewhat after seeing Batman beat the living daylights out of this guy.
The hell are you supposed to be?
Ever since Peacemaker has come out, it's been the most in-demand streaming show to watch lately, topping over Book of Boba Fett and The Witcher. Since the series has become a big success, James Gunn was able to confidently share that the Peacemaker Season 2 will most likely happen. Gunn also followed that by saying, "We're working on something else now, another TV show that's connected to that universe. I can't quite say what it is." So things are looking in good shape with the HBO Max streaming service. Now, the same may be said with Disney Plus as well. They just announced that they're working on a live-action Aristocats film and a Percy Jackson series reboot. And you also may have been browsing through the streaming service lately and noticed something called Marvel One Shot. They just added this, and it displays some of the concepts Marvel Studios was playing around with during Phase 1. We should also talk about the elephant in the room, and no, I'm not talking about this guy. I'm talking about the Snow White project that is currently in the works to be released on Disney Plus. Game of Thrones star Peter Dinklage recently gave some strong criticism on the film, stating this: "Literally no offense to anyone, but I was a little taken aback when they were very proud to cast a Latina actress as Snow White, but you're still telling the story of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Take a step back and look at what you're doing there. It makes no sense to me. You're progressive in one way, but then you're still making the fucking backward story about the seven dwarves living in a cave together. What the fuck are you doing, man? Have I done nothing to advance the cause from my soapbox? I guess I'm not loud enough." Now, Disney has responded to this criticism and has stated, "To avoid reinforcing stereotypes from the original animated film, we are taking a different approach with these 7 characters and have been consulting with members of the dwarfism community. We look forward to sharing more as the film heads into production after a lengthy development period." Obviously, Disney has taken this criticism into consideration and looks to be changing the current approach. So let me know in the comment section below, what was your favorite story of this week? We really like to see you guys commenting and see what your opinions are. Now, before we go, don't forget to smash that like, subscribe, and notification bell. I want to thank you for watching this video, and we will see you in the next one.